more of Israel pushing for Iran. But is that America's problem? That's maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is, you know what? They were wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about Syria. They were wrong about Afghanistan. They were wrong about the Taliban. They were wrong about Libya. They were wrong about the Arab Spring. They were wrong about Yemen. They were wrong about the Arabian Peninsula. They were wrong about the 9/11 hijackers being Saudi Arabian. But hey, 10th time's a charm. This time we're actually right. Yeah, you're going to have to earn our trust on this one.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are, what a weekend it's been. We are going to talk about the fact that Donald Trump, of all people, 100% betrayed Charlie this weekend, Friday night. We were bombed Iran. Exactly what Charlie walked into Donald Trump's office about and told him, hey, we don't want this. The American people don't want this. This is a bad idea. We have several videos of Charlie saying the same thing. But not only did Donald Trump betray Charlie, the current hosts of the Charlie Kirk show, absolutely diabolical, absolutely liars. I was fascinated by how they were able to twist this. I'm like, which one of you snakes in the grass came up with this sorry excuse for condoning precisely what Charlie was against? I want you to listen to what these fools had to say, these Judases had to say after Bibi and Donald Trump bombed Iran, and how they twisted Charlie's words and then tried to emotionally manipulate us by saying, you guys didn't know Charlie. Yeah, we knew Charlie. We knew his words. We knew what he was saying towards the end of his life. Take a listen to this.
So always did have trust with the president, and he would look for the bright side of things. And he was an American patriot, so he would pray for our success once that began. And I just want to say that to offer perspective on how I think he would have felt about this. And that's,
I hate this Blake Neff character is the most condescending, patronizing individual on the planet. Just because Charlie loved America doesn't necessarily mean that he would condone this, or even, of course, we don't want to get our country obliterated, to have our country obliterated during a war. But you're going to listen how they escalate this language into basically, well, Charlie would have been fine. He would have supported the president. Charlie wasn't supporting the president when he was alive, and he wasn't supporting the president regarding Iran at all. Charlie didn't support him at all, and he said so publicly, and then went into his house, the White House, and said, no, we're not doing this. This will be bad for America. So listen to them, bow to their dear leader, Bibi, and try and twist this into something else.
it's not to use Charlie as a shield. That is not to say everything just revolves around him, because he's...
What's crazy is y'all have been using Charlie as a shield for years. Candace is destroying Charlie's legacy. Charlie wouldn't have won this. Charlie would have done that. Charlie would have done this. You have to listen to Erika because she's Charlie's wife. You've been using him as a shield. Now you want to pretend like you're not. You've been doing this.
Not with us anymore, but I know people... all of us are feeling the lack of Charlie in a moment like this, because he was a natural leader of the movement.
Well, I think that's also, as soon as all of this broke out, you saw that social media immediately went to go find Charlie clips, because he still is, even in death, the leading voice on a matter like this.
Well, and sorry, go ahead.
No.
What he's missing is that, yes, Charlie's voice is still a leader, but what people are watching is we want to know if you are loyal to Charlie. That's what we want to know. We want to know if you will tell the truth. So people are pulling up clips because they want to see how you all respond. And because you're too stupid and drunk on your own money, you don't realize that we are watching you lie to our faces about what Charlie believed. And you're basically confirming what we already think. We're not just pulling clips because he's a leader. We're pulling clips and saying, remember, this is what your Charlie, your friend. McCoy doing everything he can not to shake those hips or fling his limp wrists around either. He looks surprisingly heterosexual in this clip. But they think that we're pulling clips because of what Charlie was said about Iran, because we're just like, oh, what did Charlie think about it? No, we're trying to see if you guys are congruent. We're trying to see if you really cared about what Charlie thinks, or if you're literally bowing to your dear leader, Bibi. And we are going to see that you are bowing to your dear leader, Bibi. I'm going to show you guys a clip of what Charlie said just before he died, June of 2025, what he said and what they're saying and how it's completely contradictory. He's not in a row at all. None of them are. I know this one's giving Blake here. Bye.
Oh, I was just going to say, and it makes me upset though, because for these people that didn't actually know Charlie, like Blake, you said it, in private, he would be not happy with the situation.
He wasn't happy in public. What are you talking about? I'm going to show us in a minute. He was not happy in public about it. He said so. They're going to try and ethnically cleanse Gaza. He said it publicly. There's nothing, no hiding about it. What I think Charlie would have said is, I'm not happy about this, but now that we're in it, we better take care of business. You see, this is what they don't understand. And whoever's running this group, whoever's running TPUSA now, whether it's Stacy, give me my money, Sheridan, or Tyler, I mess with young boys, Boyer, or Andrew, I also fame hungry Colvette. They don't understand that people want you to be honest. They want you to be honest. Say, Charlie would not have been happy about this. But do you know why they can't? Do you know why they can't say that? Their dear leader, Bibi, their dear leader, funneled billions of dollars into TPUSA, and they have to support this war. They have to. Fruitcake Mikey McCoy.
Charlie, like Blake, you said it, in private, he would be not happy with the situation. And he would express his thoughts. You'd oftentimes see him talk about it on the show. But then as soon as this would happen, he would have trust in the president. He would try to calm people down. And so it's really irritating for me to see so many people on social media have the opposite reaction, to use his voice to actually cause chaos.
No one's causing chaos. We're simply taking what Charlie said and lining it up with what you all are talking about. Not once did you guys condemn this. Not once did you say this was a bad idea for the American people. In fact, they're doing the very thing. They're using Charlie as a shield. They're saying, yeah, Charlie wouldn't have liked this, but they have not said they disagree with this. Why? Dear leader Bibi, their dear leader Bibi, Kim Jong Bibi Netanyahu, said you can't say that. You must agree with Israel. Let's listen to what Charlie actually had to say about this. Let's listen to his own words.
Let's do some updates about Israel and Iran and potentially the United States. On one side is the Lindsey Graham, John Bolton types, where they are actively calling for regime change. Here is Lindsey Graham. This is just lunacy. This kind of analysis is not helpful. This kind of approach, this kind of argument, it has nothing to do with nuclear weapons at this point. This is now that we want to go all in and take out the regime. It's time for us to close the chapter on the Iranian Ayatollah and his henchmen and start a new chapter in the Middle East. And that sounds good, doesn't it? But what have we learned when it comes to wars, and especially wars in the Middle East? What you draw up on a whiteboard rarely happens. What you think theoretically is going to occur, there might be unintended and unforeseen consequences, especially when you're talking about a country 2.5 times the size of Texas. It has 90 million people and was an ancient and great power with well over a dozen ethnic groups. You have underground Christians, You don't really have many Jews left in Persia, but also you have secular younger Persians. Who's going to run the country exactly, Lindsey Graham? This sounds like Hillary Rodham Clinton in Libya.
Do you see how forcefully he's fighting against this? For them to pretend like this isn't what half of the American people think, it's just lunacy. It's absolute lunacy. And I had to share this because there's a lot of chatter about like, what does Candace Owens actually know? What does she know? I sometimes want to look at people's behavior. I want to know if you're going to lie. How are you truly living Charlie's legacy? Are you guys truly in line with him? And the answer is no. The answer is you could be bought and Charlie could not. You all could be bought and Charlie couldn't. It's very simple. It's becoming more and more obvious. You won't condemn the Epstein files. Charlie did. You won't condemn Trump for going or Israel for going into Iran. Charlie did. He did. He's talking about it right here. And he talked about it all the way up until September 9th in front of Ben Shapiro's face. And all we're asking you to do is tell the truth. But it seems like nobody in TPUSA can tell the truth, including Erika Kirk. Are you ready? So more footage is coming out about Erika Kirk. I found this little gem because remember, we're all wondering how she knew Tyler Boyer. How does Erika Kirk know Tyler Boyer? Candace Owens revealed that there's some family ties here. Oh, I don't remember how I met him. I don't remember. I have all these dates in my mind. Shall we take a listen?
It was a while ago. I can't even keep track of dates anymore with babies and anniversary dates and everything else in between. So anyways, so we had met through a family friend.
We had met through a family friend. She's talking about Tyler Boyer. Yeah, he's a family friend. Your families knew each other. And you pretended that you didn't know each other in your interview with Charlie. I've shared that interview on this channel before. Oh, I don't remember how I met him at a Trump rally. Girl, what? You met him at a Trump rally? How is he a family friend if you met him at a Trump rally? Let me play that again.
It was a while ago. I can't even keep track of dates anymore with babies and anniversary dates and everything else in between. So anyways, so we had met through a family friend. He had invited me to the office opening for Turning Point USA, which I know several of you guys are supporters of. So thank you for all of your support for Turning Point USA. And so I went to the office opening and he was like, you need to meet the CEO. And I was like, okay, great. I don't know. I was not familiar with that world at all.
She's still not familiar. I'm going to show you guys an interview that we have not seen before. And I'm praying that Sage Steele doesn't copyright me, but I'm going to show you guys an interview. Can I just take a tangent real quick? Let me just do a tangent, a slide off the river real quick. Erika Kirk is pretending like she knows so much about the business now. But in all of the interviews before, she was like, I'm at home with my babies. I'm raising my babies. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you don't really know what's going on. You are not ready to be CEO. But that's just a tangent. Can't keep up with things. She's not a woman. I don't like when women play this. She's playing this like dumb card, and I don't like it. Oh, I can't keep up with the dates. I'm just so like this faux incompetence. Girl, most women know when their children were born. They know their wedding anniversary. So pretending like you don't know is not a good look. Are you having early onset dementia? If so, you're not fit to be a CEO.
But the interesting point is that year, that was in August. In May, I had taken a pilgrimage with my mom to Israel. And my whole intention of that trip was to find my future husband. If there was a hole in a rock anywhere to put a prayer, and those of you who've been...
So then she goes on to talk about her hole in the rock story in Israel. Okay, can I tell you guys my conspiracy? It's 0 sense, 0 evidence. I believe that Erika's mother and all them are so conniving that they're the people who are like, let's set up these quote unquote coincidences. Like, let's set up things, places for people to be together so that when they meet in the future, you can say, oh, I was there too. Oh my gosh, look at all this. How serendipitous, like how divine. I firmly believe that allegedly Lori Fronsvy and Tyler Boyer got together and said, okay, Charlie's going to be in Israel. Let's you guys go to Israel. He's going to this area. She goes, let's kind of like massage this, like get them familiar with each other, and then we'll introduce them later. I firmly believe that. I have no evidence for that, but I just think that's the kind of snake pageant mom Lori Fronsvy potentially is. Now, you guys ready for another interview that I found where I was like, oh, you just be lying. You just lied for lying's sake. So Erika's in this interview with Sage Steele, and she's talking about her upbringing. And as you guys know, Candace Owens has talked about Erika Kirk's upbringing. She's talked about the fact that Erika wasn't really raised by a single mom. And then last week, I showed you guys an interview where Erika said, oh, I know business because both of my parents are entrepreneurs and I watched both of them. So either you were raised by a single mom and don't know your daddy, or you know both of their businesses. Which one is it? Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, how are you raised by a single mother, but then you look at both of your parents' businesses and know both of your parents' businesses well enough to speak on it and use that as experience? Let's take a listen.
Though, to know before you marry Charlie, right, that this is the way you wanted him.
Let me just back it up a little bit.
To know
you're speaking out like it's special, that people are like rising up and being like, you know what, life's short. This is the truth, and I'm going to speak it.
Yes. So where does that come from within you, though? To know before you marry Charlie, right, that this is the way you wanted a marriage to be.
Well, I come from a broken home, so I emulated my grandparents' marriage, which was very old school, like 50s style, from the standpoint of I saw the best friend mentality of like that marriage. It was really special. My grandparents are the world to me. My mom was phenomenal. I mean, she still is phenomenal. Since she was a single parent, raised me. And that was special to me because I saw my mom have to wear the pants for both sides, which is very difficult. And she, by the grace of God, balanced it beautifully. But she showed me at a very young age, like the power of prayer. I was raised Catholic. Going to church on Sundays, but church is not just on Sundays. And she lived her life in a way where the Bible was the way she, like, if someone saw her, they would see biblically the Bible being lived out. So I think
really, all those hidden LLCs, all that money funneling in, all those Department of Defense contracts, 4 marriages, really? I bet nobody thought you would find that out. She is a lying liar that lies. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I never forget dates, especially like an anniversary. And like he's the love of my life. Okay, if you're married to the love, I could see if you didn't like your husband. This is my conspiracy theory, but what if the stay-at-home dad was also a mom? Jade? No. I don't see it though. I don't see it. I also think that those are her parents as well. So yeah, I never forget important dates. Like I know the date that my husband and I were married. I know my parents' birth dates. I bet she knows her. I bet she knows everything about her mama. I bet she knows her mama's medication schedule. I bet she knows her, when she was born. I bet she knows when she got divorced. I bet she knows all that stuff. She just doesn't know that her mom was married 4 times. Good Catholic mama.
For me, that was something that was really special, having a mom who had to really lean on her faith to make it. And she had her own company. And like, it's not easy. Having raising kids and doing your brand and everything, it's not easy. And so by her living her life in that way, I always tell moms that are in different seasons of life that, their kids are older or whatever, like your kids watch everything. And when they see you being resilient and they see you being like, nope, you know what? Not today, Satan. Like God's on my side. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. And to see that relentless faith is so special. And your kids see that and they absorb it, and they will have that same chutzpah, if you will, when they get older.
Thank God you had a mother who.
Okay, can you guys who uses that word chutzpah? Yeah. That's interesting. Like the word that I would use is like grit, moxie, maybe because I have not to sound arrogant, but I maybe have a deeper vocabulary than she does. But I've always believed that Erika was half tiny hat. Not ethnically, maybe ethnically, but I've always believed that there's some tiny hat somewhere in her.
Pushed through that. And other siblings?
I have a stepbrother, and then I have an older half sister.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, who's her stepbrother? Let me go find I need to go write that down in my notes. She has a stepbrother. Every other word is Jesus. Yeah. Every other word is, it's all a front. Yeah, she has a stepbrother. I know. Don't let Candace Owens see that. Alexandria says, I know who uses that word. That's what I'm saying. I've always believed that she was tiny hat. I've always believed that. And all of a sudden she came out. Now all of a sudden she's half, she's Syrian Lebanese. Yeah. I've never heard of that word until lately, and that's because of the tiny hatters. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you got to go back and when people are not in the limelight. What I don't know what year this is, but let's keep going.
So I was the baby, yeah.
But it's really incredible, and my goodness, she deserves a lot of credit, and I can't imagine being in her shoes. But to have you not emulate some things, right? Take the good, take the bad,
pick and choose,
and then know what you want from that.
Yeah.
Is she here?
She is here. She's at home. I'm having her come later tonight, but. Yeah.
But I mean, I wonder what she feels as a mother. Now you're a young mother, but what she feels watching you and how you have taken so much of what she experienced and applied it to what is now a beautiful marriage.
Yeah. No, I love my mama. She needs everything.
It's just really cool. Parenting with this craziness that you have going on.
You notice how she didn't answer that question? Do you notice how she didn't answer that question? Sage Steele said, what does your mom think about the fact that you have applied all of this? And this is so conspiracy and has no bearing whatsoever. But when you have enmeshed, overbearing mothers, they don't actually like that you're married, save for the fact that it makes you wealthy and in the spotlight, right? Like the marriage is only good because it's what makes Erika Kirk more famous, if you will. Let me rewind that. How Sage Steele asks a question and she doesn't answer it.
I mean, I wonder what she feels as a mother. Now you're a young mother, but what she feels watching you and how you have taken so much of what she experienced and applied it to what is now a beautiful marriage.
Yeah. No, I love my mama. She needs everything.
It's just really cool. She here?
She is here. She's at home. I'm having her come later tonight, but.
But I mean, I wonder what she feels as a mother. Now you're a young mother, but what she feels watching you and how you have taken so much of what she experienced and applied it to what is now a beautiful marriage.
Yeah. No, I love my mama. She needs everything.
It's just really cool.
She avoids most questions precisely. Yes. Yeah, she does. I mean, she avoided that. So she did her little fake smile. She does this thing with the corner of her lips. I hate that I notice these things. It actually bothers me so much about myself. But she does this thing with the corner of the lips when she's about to lie. You guys have to watch it now when she's about to lie. And it's like, so it's a tell. It's her tell. She doesn't know it. But yeah, she tells you exactly what she wants to tell you. And then, oh, I love my mama. And do you see the joy that she brought out when she talked about her mom? But she was talking about when she was talking about Charlie, none of this. None of it. Nothing.
Parenting with this craziness that you have going on. How old is the baby now?
I have a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old.
7 months. 2 years, 7 months. Oh, you're in it, girl. You guys aren't done, are you?
We might have one more.
Okay.
I'm kind of torn. The only reason why I'm torn is because I had C-sections for both. So I'm like, how many more times does Charlie need to see my organs? So, I mean, we'll see.
Yes.
But no, I mean, whatever the Lord's will is for that. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, we're in the thick of it. 90% of the time of my life, I look like Adam Sandler. I'm not dressed like this. So like, you pick
Adam
and choose.
Sandler, can we pick someone else?
Yeah,
please?
I know.
It's not Adam Sandler.
I think, you know, when he's like schlepping around, and he's wearing like basketball shorts and like yeah. But that's the thing. You have your mom bun. You're like in the thick of it. You're barely getting sleep. But you look at it and you realize like, and within a blink of an eye, these kids are going to be gone.
So you remember how she was like, she was like, I know everything about the business. But you literally said that you spend all of this time with your kids. So I don't believe that you can possibly know everything unless you have someone on the inside telling you everything, because I highly doubt that Charlie came home after working like a straight dog and then spilled every single detail to Erika. I doubt it. And as beautiful as their Sabbath is, y'all, as beautiful as it is, I don't believe that in the, let's say, 36 hours that they spent together, that he told her everything. I just don't believe it. So either you're lying because you spent all your time with your kids, or you didn't spend time with your kids, all your time with your kids. Or you're lying about knowing everything. Tyler Boyer in her ear. Yeah. That's what I think. I think Tyler was in her ear saying, "Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, this is what's going on. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, say this to him so we can get him to do this. Ra-ta-ta." Oh yeah, 100%. Let's continue.
Yes, and it's
grown.
Heartbreaking.
I know.
Mine are 18, 20, and 22.
I can't even
on
imagine.
college. And it was so, and I knew it was going fast. And
I
so
know,
you're
but
present, I was
still.
present. And
Nothing will
say,
prepare you.
Nothing.
No.
It's devastating, even though, and I'm no longer saying empty nester.
Yeah.
I'm saying bird launcher.
I love it.
A friend of mine said, no, you have launched these little birdies,
Oh,
and they're
so
off,
cute.
and they still call, and they're coming back. So it makes me less sad.
Yeah.
Not happy,
No.
but less sad because it is going quickly. Your career, can you explain all of the things that you're doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you are an entrepreneur
Yes.
on your own.
Yes.
I want people to know that
You're
you are
sweet.
balancing all this with your own career.
Yes. So I have my own clothing line. We make everything in the USA. So we manufacture in New York and LA, Christian clothing line. And the ministry arm of that, it's called Proclaim. The ministry arm of that is Bible in 365. So proceeds from Proclaim go to Bible in 365, where you read the Bible in a year, cover to cover. It's amazing. We've had over 180,000 plus people read with us since 2017. And that's been the most important to me. Aside, clothing line is great. I love it. I'm obsessed with the clothes. But it's that side.
Yes.
The eternal side, being able to know that I am walking on a journey alongside someone, being a part of their journey with Christ, even if it's for a year, is so special to me. And like knowing that we're here recruiting, heaven is our home, and that's our thing. This is our moment. Like this is our time to all come together and be a part of each other's journeys. So that to me is really special. So we have Bible in 365 and Proclaim. Those are my worldly business babies. But yeah, it's been really fun.
That's a lot.
Yes, it's fun and it's a lot.
I'm like, how do you do all this?
We have a great team, very good at delegating stuff.
Yeah,
I've learned that the
huge.
hard way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's knowing when to say no. It's knowing when to say no and knowing your limits and prioritizing things, but also giving yourself that grace of knowing, like, you know what, this can wait until Monday.
Yes. I don't give Oprah too much credit. However, years ago, she said, no is a complete sentence.
I know.
I'll have to thank you on the end of it. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And that, I struggle.
I know,
big
it's
time
hard.
with that. It is
It's
so hard.
So you're telling me, and I know people are like, oh, you guys have, okay, if you have young children, type in the comments. So my mother has several children. My parents have several children. I don't know how you do a Bible in 365, a clothing line, and know all of your husband's business without a nanny. Just say you have a nanny. Oh, Bibi bending Trump over the desk in the Oval Office. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where are your babies? Where are your children? She loves her mom. Never heard EK say she loves CK. That's interesting. Okay, I'll see you, honeybees. Yeah, I've never heard her say I love him so much. She always talks about how great he was and how faithful he is, but that like she doesn't get that joy. Okay, Jade. I mean, are you so if you have an 8 and 1-year-old, so are you really running a business and knowing all of your husband's business and being a full-time mom, like an actual mom? Like, are you really doing that? I just find it hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that you're capable of knowing that unless there is someone on the inside giving you the details. There's just no way. And with the financial information that's coming out around Candace Owens and how Tyler Boyer and Lori Fronsby are connected, yeah, something is amiss. Something is off. I hate to say it, but something is off.
But at the end of the day, what did you say? Our kids are watching.
I know.
Can I add this real quick? I also grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
Still practicing.
Yeah.
But I will say, we weren't really taught to read the Bible and to know scripture.
No.
It's been super intimidating for me. And I think I know which website I need to go to.
Yes. So, but that happened to me because until 2009, when I walked into a one of the non-denominational Bible churches, they were like, okay, open your Bible. And I'm like, well, I don't have, everyone's like shuffling through their pages. And
they
I'm
have
like,
notes in them.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, take my phone out and like I'll just scroll through my phone because it's usually you have sometimes they'll put the homily printed out on the piece of paper and they'll give the Bible verses or maybe the verses that they read, but you don't get to read the context before and the context after. So the first time I ever read the Bible cover to cover was 2016 and it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. And that's when I started. So it was me and another friend and I put together the Bible reading program and I sent it to my friend. I said, do it with me. I was like, because I don't know what I'm doing. And you've been a Christian your whole life. And I just want to have an accountability partner. Like, please read this with me. 2016, finished the whole thing. It was a wild year.
Wow.
And after that, everything was in Technicolor. And I was like, I get it now. I get it.
That gives me
and it made me, it's really interesting because then if ever I do go back to sit in a Catholic mass, I'm like, now I get the Catholic side even more now after having read the Bible. So I wish.
If I ever go sit in a Catholic mass, you guys are in mass every week, sometimes every day. Okay, what are you guys saying? The oldest, I was the nanny. Yeah, that often happens. If I had a clone of me, heck yeah. Babies keep you on your toes all day. Yep. Okay, now here's where I get lost. How is she Catholic when she has a Syrian background? I'm not sure either. Don't go to Erika's website to learn more about God, Sage. Yeah. But I find that fascinating. I find her whole circular, like sort of like from Catholic upbringing to the non-denominational back to Catholic. I find that whole thing fascinating. And I'm still trying to figure out what to make of that. If I'm being honest with you guys, I don't really know because as you know, Catholics believe in replacement theology. So that doesn't really square with her, tiny hat political beliefs. So I'm really confused about that for her specifically. Let's finish this up.
That there was more, because even when you go to confirmation class and like all the thing, I just wish they would have, and some Catholic churches are great at this. Some Catholic high schools are great at this. Unfortunately, mine weren't as good from the standpoint of get your own Bible and let's crack it open. It was never really like that.
Never. I was never once encouraged to do that. And I'm not trying to be negative. It's just how it has been.
How it's been.
And then you almost have to get lucky to get a good priest. The priest that I left, the only reason I'm sad about leaving Connecticut is like 2 friends and my priest who didn't read his homily. It came from his heart.
I know.
And that's when my kids were little, even wanting to sit in the front row because he cared. He absolutely did. And so we need more of that in the Catholic Church and obviously throughout the Christian community.
But that's what I love about the Catholic Church is that you can have kids of all ages sitting in the pews. That's how my mom and I, like when we went to church together. It wasn't like, okay, have fun at Sunday school. Like I never did that. I was always fed the same word that my mom was fed. They never watered it down. They never was like, oh, you're little, so go color. Like it was never like that. And I think that's really special. And I tell Charlie that all the time. I think it's really special to see a growing church, hearing babies crying, seeing a toddler running around, mom chasing them, trying to go into the kids' little like lounge area, but to still be fed by the same priests in the same context. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm excited for this. This is a challenge. So when I see her next year with my same cute little couch,
I'll be your accountability partner.
Really?
I would love that. Oh my gosh, I would be honored. Yes, I would love that.
That's special. Okay, I'm not going to be intimidated by this.
No, it's fun. And we send you a text message every single day. You can get a text, email, or on the app. I'll send you a text message every single day of what to read. And all you have to do is literally click the link and it's right there. Your Old Testament, your New Testament, and your Psalms or your Proverbs. We switch back and forth. There's a blurb of encouragement and literally it takes maybe 7 minutes of your day.
No way.
Coffee, 7 minutes with Jesus. I'll send you a little heart emoji and it's done. Let's do it. I'm just warning you though that once you do that, your life is going to radically change.
The Technicolor. It's all in Technicolor, she said. I am ready. And I'm so grateful. Oh my goodness.
I'm so curious what Sage thinks about her now. When we get off this live, I'm about to do some digging. But I still have to get to the part where Wolves in Finance thinks that Charlie was Candace's handler. I have to get to that point. Let me finish up. Just make sure there's no more nuggets in here.
It's so fun.
This is real accountability too.
Okay. It'll be fun.
Thank you. And congratulations on helping millions. It's an honor to meet you.
Oh, likewise.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, that's that. Okay. Yeah, somebody tag Candace Owens in this so that we know, so that she knows that Erika has a stepbrother. Please tag her at the when this video's over and there's like a little you know how you guys can do like a timestamp clip. You guys tag her in that. Okay, did you guys see Wolves in Finance's video about Charlie being Candace's handler? Did you guys see that? Tell me you guys saw that while I pull that up. Oh my gosh. I was like shocked and appalled, to be honest. Shocked, appalled, flabbergasted, dumbfounded, all the words. And then, okay, I'm gonna let you guys see it. And then we're gonna talk about it. So let me go ahead and pull up this folio. And I'm not sold on it. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. I am not sold on it at all. So we're going to watch a little bit of it together. Sage, Jill, and Megyn Kelly are quietly crab crawling away from the Erika Kirk right now. I think that Megyn Kelly is in a precarious situation. And I'll tell you guys why before I get to this thing. I think Megyn Kelly is an elephant in the Republican Party. She's a major player. And for all intents and purposes, she has been shielded from sort of like the backlash. Like, yeah, she's getting some of it, but it's not affecting her views. It's not affecting her numbers. It's not affecting her ability to get on different shows. Like with Candace, what they did was they basically cut her off from the entire Republican Party. That has not happened to Megyn Kelly. And I find that absolutely fascinating because in all reality, she has not come out to denounce Candace Owens. And typically what they do in these situations, the tiny hats, is they typically cut you off completely. And so I just find it interesting that she is still around in a major way that is not really, it's typically not seen. Okay, wait, she said after winning her pageant, she locked herself for 8 months reading her Bible. And her pastor's wife was the only one she talked to. This was before 2016. Yes. And maybe she actually read the whole Bible for a year in 2018. But yeah, she did say that she studied scripture. I don't know if she said she read the whole Bible, but I know she said she studied scripture. So it's very possible that she it's very possible that, you know, that was the first time she read the Bible. Now, let's do this. Okay, hold on.
Through some of the conspiracy theories of the last decade and try to pull out what is fact and what is fiction. I showed this photo in one of my previous videos. This is Charlie Kirk and Tyler Boyer in 2017, allegedly, at the inauguration night party at the Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C. They are making these weird hand signals. This is generally accepted as the hand sign for okay. But many of you have messaged me that that hand sign is also known to be used by Freemasons and the Illuminati. It symbolizes the all-seeing eye. I started looking into this. It's actually very strange. There are a lot of bizarre photos out there of celebrities and important people posing for photographs and flashing this hand sign. Now, I don't know about you, but I have never in my life posed for a photo while flashing this hand sign. Am I the only person who thinks this is strange? What is going on with all of these people taking these photos? Are they being told to do this by the Illuminati? We don't know, but I think it's kind of strange. Now, recently, I was playing a video game with my friends, and this happened.
But yeah, I've just started just drinking mostly water. I don't know. It's always a good idea, especially in like a dry environment like Arizona is, where I'm at. It's always important to stay hydrated.
Did you see that? I flashed the same sign. Now, I swear I was not trying to send any bizarre secret message. That was just an inadvertent hand movement. I didn't even realize I was doing it. So I do admit that it is possible that someone can randomly make this hand sign. But here's the difference. I was not posing for a photograph. These guys are posing with this hand sign.
Okay. Can I tell you guys my true thoughts? If anything, I believe that this one is, and that this one is not. Like, I think this one is very committed to it, and this one is not. I think they were making some kind of joke. I just don't see this. But he's going to explain to you why he thinks that Candace was Charlie.
And it's not just one person. They are both doing it. This is intentional. The more I look at this photograph, the more I realize how bizarre and creepy it is. It's even more strange in the context of this being the inauguration party for Donald Trump. It is like they're sending a message to a secret society as if to say, mission accomplished. Keep in mind that Tyler Boyer proudly states in his bio on the Turning Point website how he is a 7th-generation Arizonan. He comes from a powerful Mormon family. So it is not unreasonable to think that he is getting involved with Freemasons even at a young age. This photograph suggests to me that both Charlie Kirk and Tyler Boyer were part of some secret society from the beginning. What is also important is that this photograph happened before Candace Owens started working for Turning Point. This photograph was taken in January 2017.
But okay, so this is where he's wrong, okay? Charlie and Candace met in 2017. So I don't think that, I think the timing is too close. I don't think it's as clear as he would like for it to be. They met at a political conference in Florida, and then he hired her immediately. So maybe someone placed them in each other's, spheres, but I don't think so. I'm having a hard time with this theory specifically. I think because Turning Point was like a nothing organization at that time. Nobody knew really who Charlie Kirk was. Nobody knew who Tyler Boyer was. So I don't think this is the point that he's trying to make. I don't think he's doing a good job of convincing people. We'll see if he has more to say about that. But I don't believe that this implies that Charlie was her handler. I think Charlie may have already had a handler in Tyler Boyer, but I don't think that Candace was his, because it typically doesn't work that way. Typically your handler is not, from what I've seen in Hollywood, it's someone who can like put you in check, like the way that Harley does to Kanye West, or it's like your spouse. It's never like their relationship was too friendly.
Candace started working at Turning Point in November 2017. Candace Owens has been doing the most thorough investigation into Charlie Kirk's death. She says this.
Yeah, Kanye sent this now infamous tweet. I love the way Candace Owens thinks. I believe, and I'm saying this retrospectively, that from that moment onward, Charlie and I were assigned handlers. Okay, this is an expression that Kanye used to say, have a handler. I thought that he was just saying that. I thought that he was referring to just Hollywood. I now very much believe that I have had handlers since 2018, and that things were done intentionally to pull me and Charlie apart.
What Candace?
So they were best friends and Charlie would never hurt Candace. That's how I feel too. I don't feel like, do you know who I think her handlers were? PragerU, Daily Wire, maybe even her husband. Maybe. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Good job. Yeah, maybe she already knows about the stepbrother, but I would love to know who the stepbrother is. Yeah, I think that her handlers were PragerU, Daily Wire, and perchance even her husband, if I'm being honest. I just don't see it as being Charlie, but I know that PragerU and Daily Wire were. The problem with Candace is that she can't be controlled. She can't, as Wells and Finance is going to say, she can't take orders. So, and the reason why I also don't believe that Charlie was her handler, because typically your handler cannot be friends with you when they're done with you, right? So if you look at Ye and Bianca or Ye and Kim, they're not friends. They typically kind of throw you to the wayside. Then they get another assignment, right? So for example, I think that for example, Erika, it was Charlie's assignment. Charlie was her assignment. And Charlie was friends with Candace up until he died. Like, he was still talking with her. They were still communicating. He wanted to invite her back. You don't invite someone back who was your client per se. That's just not how that's not how the underworld works, from what I've seen.
Owens does not realize is that there is a growing possibility that her handler was Charlie Kirk himself.
I have had handlers since 2018, and that things were done intentionally to pull me and Charlie apart.
What Candace Owens does not realize is that there is a growing possibility that her handler was Charlie Kirk himself. If Charlie Kirk was already involved in a secret society in 2017, it is likely that he was given the task of keeping an eye on Candace Owens. I think that Charlie Kirk was a double agent from the beginning. Candace has released a bunch of text messages between the two. Charlie Kirk says, "Are you ready for the war that's coming? We gonna fight, we gonna win, they will lose." Candace responds, "So effing exciting." Charlie says, "Yes." Candace is not gonna like me saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I think it's the truth. In my opinion, those text messages read like Charlie Kirk is trying to groom Candace Owens to become part of their secret operation. It did not work out because Candace Owens is really bad at taking orders from people. For some reason, she's just not good at following orders. I don't think she would do very well in the military. And we know the rest of the story. Candace Owens left Turning Point, and the rest is history. The bottom line is this photograph exists, and there has to be an explanation for it. And if you think I've gone off the deep end, hold on, because there's a whole lot more. Charlie Kirk was murdered on September 10th, 2025. On October 19th, 2025, I made a video on my working theory of what actually happened. My initial reaction was that the intelligence community was somehow involved. I saw too many similarities with the JFK assassination, which many people now believe involved people within the CIA. I published that video 1 month after the murder. We now know so much more information, and I want to update my working theory. I now believe that in the US, there's a growing conflict going on between the different intelligence agencies.
Well, we already knew that. We already knew that they were growing. So I just wanted to show you guys that part where he said that Candace was Charlie's handler. I have a hard time believing that. And I just don't think there's enough evidence for that. Of course, I think that there's a ton of warfare between the Secret Service and the CIA, not Secret Service, but the CIA and the FBI and the Green Beret. But I think there's very little evidence that she was handled by anyone other than her employees. I think Charlie was amazingly book smart, but not street smart, and was naive. Oh, and okay, so maybe I should just keep playing this, but you guys know in this video, he claims that he believes that Charlie knew about all of the fraud at Turning Point. And I just don't believe that. I don't believe that you would do a Doge audit. I keep saying a Doge edit because it's like Doge effort and Doge audit together. But I don't think you would do a Doge audit, no, like unless you were sure that there was fraud. Now, here's what he could be saying. What he could be saying is Charlie knew initially, or he was naive. Jade, yes, I think he was naive and didn't know. And now that he's coming around to like just growing into himself, he's starting to realize how sinister and slick these people actually are. And yes, now he was going for a Doge audit, but I don't think he knew exactly, Kathy. No, he didn't know. He was always traveling and they did it behind his back. I think people who have never run companies have no freaking clue how hard it is to know everything that's happening behind the scenes. I think people, and I bless his heart, Wolves in Finance. I appreciate his work, but I don't think he understands how, if you're running Charlie had hundreds of employees. He had a C-suite of like several people, plus a fundraising department. There was no way Charlie would have known everything that was going on. He trusted Tyler. That's exactly right. That was his biggest mistake, was trusting Tyler, financial fraud Boyer, with TPUSA's finances. That's it. That's his biggest problem. So I don't know. I think people are afraid because we want to believe that Charlie Kirk is like this, like really intelligent, hero of a guy. So people can't square that with the fact that he was naive. Yeah, I think exactly. I think Jade said that. Yeah, I just don't think he was street smart at all. I think he had no concept of like truly how fraudulent people could be when it came to what am I thinking of? Voter fraud, politician in terms of money, election fraud. I think he had no clue how devious and deceptive and how gross the political world could be. I think he had no clue. I think he just trusted the wrong people. Exactly. I think he just trusted the wrong people. He thought Erika was a virgin. Yeah, I'm like, that girl does not scream virgin at all. Yeah. I think so. I think Wolves in Finance is out of line here, but I wanted to just address that today because I wanted to make sure that I spoke some truth, because there are people who just like take everything that like these YouTubers say. Like even for me, like don't take everything I say as gospel. I'm like, no, it's not likely that he was her handler. It's just not likely. Anyway, let me get off of here, you guys, because I believe Candace is coming up in 8 minutes. So I want to make sure that I'm on there for that and I can take my notes so I can come back tomorrow and do a show for you guys right around this time, probably 11-12 tomorrow. She's a bot in a body. Yeah, I'm waiting for the Fort Huachuca photo. Like I firmly, like part of me believes that Candace has that. And I just need her to like show the photo so that we can all just say, I told you so. Okay, so I will see you guys all over at Candace Owens live. Although that chat is so like violently, like it's just aggressive, especially with the bots, that it's like too hard to watch. I can't look at the comments. I just have to watch the show. So anyway, you guys, thank you guys for commenting. Please like the video on your way out, and I will see you guys later.